What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the legendary D-constructing Topic podcast. Let's go. Record another podcast here in my beautiful, beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Let's go. I want to be a little bit loud. I'm outside kind of taking a little stroll in the morning. You're going to hear the birds chirping, everything that's chirping, every damn sound that you can listen to. And I'm trying not to be loud, to respect of the neighbors, the people that are living in this area here in Bayamon, Puerto Rico. But we got another good one. We got, being here in the island for this past week or so is kind of like have helped me embrace and kind of got me thinking here, reset button, things in life that makes something out of us. And lo and behold, it's funny how life is. That the other day I'm having a nice dinner thing in an event that I was participating. And, we had about 20, 30 people, whatever, in a big table. And I was sitting with a little sister there, and we was having a conversation. And matter of fact, this episode is that little conversation is the inspiration for this episode of this wonderful episode. My name is David once again, and I'm your host. Your beautiful host of the D-constructing Topic podcast. Don't mind me if I'm trying to catch some air. I'm kind of like walking here in the heat with a little sweatsuit. Because, hey, listen, last night I had a good time. Couple of beers, couple of drinks here. Went to a festival there going on in Humacao. And, I got to sweat out those toxins away. So don't mind me. But you know what? When you're listening to the D-constructing Topic podcast, it's always a good, beautiful thing. Because it's like, wow, this dude is just straight up genuine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't need no sparkling stuff or anything. Some of those special sound effects, because I am the sound effect, and I am David, and this is the D-constructing Topic podcast, and let's get on with the show, because you know what? It's just so funny how having that conversation with the little sister there, basically she was like, how can I say? So she was drinking an Espresso Martini, right? I don't think I ever had an Espresso Martini. I had martinis. Let me tell you something. My history with martinis, I used to be like, damn, that's that fancy stuff. Give me some bourbon on the rocks, double, cognac. But let me tell you something. When I started drinking martinis years ago, very underrated, good stuff. So props to the bartenders, props to the places out there that serve a good martini, because sometimes you need it. It's going to kick. It might look fancy. Don't let that cup fool you, But anyways, as I be drinking the Espresso Martini, she started talking about, the conversation started talking about manifest and all that. It's just like, yeah, well, a few hours ago, I needed coffee and I needed a drink. And boom, Espresso Martinis. And we was like laughing and all that good stuff. It's like, well, I guess that is manifestation in itself, right? And it's like, I started to kind of think, and as I'm telling little stories about my life, because hey, listen, everybody that I come across, I give them my D-constructing Topic podcast card so they can listen. And I always give them a little story. And I start to realize that a lot of these stories that I have in my life, there was a source of manifestation. And as I'm talking with the little sister, we laughing. Good thing she said, she was laughing. She's like, oh my God, you're so funny. I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Of course I'm funny. Of course I'm whatever. But that's what makes these podcasts so cool. Because I was laughing too. Oh, I'm funny? I'm funny. Good thing I didn't do that good fella thing. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, for those people who watch was it Goodfellas? Joe Pesci? You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? Oh my God. But anyway, just the fact that, just that conversation, just the fact that she mentioned those things, you start to think, what is manifest? You feel me? How can we make manifest fun? Sometimes people sit down and they go into this deep rabbit hole of manifesting. And I get it. And I'm with you. But the fact is that as I'm we kind of joking around in a good sense, having a good time. I'm like, wait a minute. I just told her this story about how I got to the workplace that I'm working, and the fact that I sat down just about in front of the building that was the building where I consider my home in terms of my job. And we're talking about 10 years before, as a young kid. You start to think how powerful the mind can be if you really put yourself into that manifest kind of bubble kind of thing. And again, we can have fun here. Because sometimes we don't know, sometimes we could say coincidence. Absolutely. Coincidence, it is a thing, But but the fact that is, how can I say, as we laugh and joking, that, she had a long day on her, how can I say, profession. Is something where she was having a good time. 1 minute she's doing something crazy. The next minute she's like, damn, I'm tired. I wouldn't mind going for a drink. I wouldn't mind going for a coffee. Pakiti. Espresso Martini. And again, that's the name of the episode, Manifesting Espresso Martini. But what I want people to kind of understand is, have you ever sometimes said to yourself, you want to manifest big things? By all means. Hey, listen, we want to manifest where we have a house of 30 rooms. That's great. We want that. But you know what? As I'm walking right now in the streets here in my beautiful Puerto Rico, I noticed that these streets were, done not too long ago. I can see that this right here, these streets, the pavement, whatever it is, these streets here, as I'm looking at the streets, they were done not too long ago. So in other words, in order for you to manifest, you have to pave the way. You have to start building that road to where you want to be at. Now, yes, we want to build this, let's say, house, 30 rooms. That's what I'm trying to manifest. Success comes in many different ways. Remember, success for somebody could be wealth. Success for somebody could be health. Success for somebody could be something other different. We have our own ways of, what success is. Remember, they don't tell us what's in the TV. They don't tell us what it is, what is success. No, success, you determine that. But you know what? You got to start paving that way, start building that road. Again, you manifest that you want to live in a house with 30 rooms. But what is it? Maybe something as simple as start manifesting a big house with just one room. You'll be like, well, David, why would I have a big house in just one room? That's kind of a little funny, odd. Well, whole house is the whole damn room. You know what I mean? But the whole point is that sometimes when we do these manifest things, and I'm paid, you could count me on that situation, is that sometimes we forget the little things. Remember, manifestation, it comes in different sizes, different shapes, you know what I mean? Different colors, different actions, different outcomes, different things. And, I always emphasize to people. Now, some people, are believers of the law of attraction. I say, hold on. You know what I mean? There's no way you could sit down in a chair and just be like, I'm here trying to, law of attraction. I'm trying to attract money. I'm trying to attract that. And you are sitting down. Okay, great. Nice. I wish the world I wish the universe kind of worked in that little kind of concept where you could just sit down, not do anything, and just close your eyes and says, hey, I want to manifest that right now. There's going to be $1 million in my bank account. Let's close my eyes. Let me open it. Can I check my bank account? It's not going to work that way. It's going to work that, I'm telling you, I got to get up. But sometimes we get too, how can I say, not riled up, but sometimes we get too wrapped up into that when we manifest big, like the 30 rooms, and we get one, then we get disappointed. Then who is to say, right, that you wasn't manifesting just that one big room? You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing over here behind that little story of the Espresso Martini. I'm pretty sure the young little sister wants to have her own business and do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like have a business of something. Maybe a restaurant. Maybe a bar. Who knows? But just the fact that if in her path that she was building, in her career that she has been building, where she put that work to be in that situation where she says, wow, I'm working hard, man. I'm tired. Whew. What can I cure my tiredness with? You know what I mean? You could go to a spa. You could do this. You could do a lot. But the little sister said, you know what? I need a drink. Amen. If those people out there who have had a tough day or a just productive, even if it's not tough, but have we not, how many times, and like, listen, I don't know how many times I could count, but how many times you have said, hey, wow, I need a drink, right? So you apply that to that. Then the little bit of tiredness, the little bit of thing, you know what? I need some coffee. Then I'll go to the bar and get a drink. Guess what? Why not do both, right? Why not get this Espresso Martini? Because you need it, because you manifest it. Guess where you're going to get that at? Exactly my point. Exactly my point. You see, in order to get there, you got to move. You got to do something. Regardless of how tired, you're going to always feel tired. Because guess what? For the most part, even someone who has millions of dollars, I don't care if you say, well, that person got millions of dollars and they could do anything they want. Listen, for the most part, that person worked hard. They worked hard for their money. You don't think that they tired? They're probably more tired than you are. But what did they do? They work hard. And that's one of the things you got to work. You got to work. And then what's your reward? Hey, listen, your reward for working hard can mean, so many things. But your reward could also be manifested by saying, you know what, let me start doing those little things. Let me just start getting up. Let me set a discipline where I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm over here on a getaway, seeing my family, a little bit of it all I'm doing. But guess what? I'm waking up at 5 in the morning. Sometimes a little bit early. And I'm saying to myself in these past few days, I'm having a good time. I'm going to sleep under the influence of, some adult beverages, some good beers from the island, straight from the island. But you see, that's the reward. But you see, instead of waking up and saying, oh, man, I can't. You see, I work the next day. I wake up the next day. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm putting in work. See, the reward is that I could just be tired, right? Going back to that Espresso Martini, I think I might need one after this one. But the fact is that there's a reward for something, and the reward will get you tired. There are no people that their rewards would be that, hey, I work hard, let me go on vacation. I know a couple of people went on vacation recently, and they came back tired. But guess what? You work yourself again so you could go on another vacation and treat yourself to do whatever it is that you want. You manifest it, you ask for it. You ask for it, you manifest it, you got it. I'll guarantee it's going to work in that cycle. I don't want people to feel discouraged that hey, I can't. I'm tired. You know what? If you're a drinker, non-drinker, if you're a coffee drinker, if you're a non-coffee drinker, next time you look at a menu when you go to a restaurant, and even if it's not there, just tell the waiter, can I have an Espresso Martini, please? And that's basically my podcast, because once again, think about the reward. Think about what you can manifest. Even the smallest thing, you always have to think. Listen to your mind, listen to your body, listen to your soul, and feed them. Give them what you think that they need, even if it's something as small as an Espresso Martini. Anyways, I'm out of here. Much love. We making it happen. You already know. D-constructing Topic podcast. Shout out to the little sister. Shout out to anybody, little brothers out there as well. I got so many stories to tell. Great people, good people. The energy, the vibe in the island, giving me that reset button. All that good stuff. The D-constructed podcast here. Hit that like. Hit that share. Comment. Let's talk about everything. Let's talk about you and me. And let's talk about Espresso Martinis. I definitely will be drinking one tonight. I'm out of here. Much love. Peace.